Henna here, and in today's video I wanted to do a review wear test of the new Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer. This one right here, I actually have the trial size just because whenever it's a new product and I'm purchasing it, I don't know whether or not I'll like it, so that's why I went ahead and picked up the trial size. But that's not the point of this video. If you guys want to know what I think and how the wear test goes with the new Pore Diffusing Primer by Rare Beauty, then you're in the right place. But before we get into this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I do post new videos here every week. Also follow me on Instagram and all my other socials at Thehennaali. And without further ado, you guys, let's get straight into this video. So like I mentioned before, I did go ahead and get the trial size of the Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer just because I don't know if I'm going to like this primer, if it'll work for me, and if I'm spending the money, I want to make sure, you know, I like it. So that's why I picked up the little mini trial size. Let me just show you guys what it looks like up close. This one, which was 0.5 fluid ounces, it's $14, and then for the 0.94 ounces of this product is $26. Letting you guys know the price difference. I definitely didn't want to spend too much because I don't know whether or not this primer works for me or not. So usually I like to have my brows done before my foundation, but I've only done my skincare and I wanted to go ahead and apply the primer first, and then I can do everything afterwards. I know when Rare Beauty first came out, I really wanted to try the primer out, but it was a more hydrating primer. It wasn't really meant to help with pore diffusing and all that, and that's what I look for in a primer. I want something to help with my pores, my texture, and just to give an overall matte complexion while still keeping my skin not completely like stripped of all its moisture. This one, it says a hydrating cushiony gel primer that blurs the look of pores, fine lines, boosts and extends makeup wear, and helps fight shine all day. And this is great for normal, oily, dry, and combination skin, which is a really big marketing point for them, that they're just like, if you're looking to diffuse your pores and you have dry skin, this is for you, because it's supposed to be super hydrating as well, but maintaining and fighting shine throughout the day, which is really intriguing, especially for most makeup users, because we all tend to kind of like deal with large pores, or if not, like we want something to help with the overall smoothing of our skin, you know, before we apply foundation. Let's go ahead and apply this on the face and let's see. So I just zoomed you guys in. I do have this little dark spot that I've been kind of dealing with, but that's okay. It is what it is. We're human. And my brows, I don't have them filled in right now, but I like to do that once I apply my primer and then the foundation. So this is what the primer looks like up close. This is the 0.5 fluid ounce, and this one retails for $14 like I mentioned. So let's just squeeze it out so you guys can kind of see. Oh my God, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm like trying to bring it as close as, it's like a gel like consistency. So I'm gonna just apply some of that on my skin, especially right here. This is where I really have large pores, my acne. It does feel pretty thick when you apply it on. Yeah, it does feel pretty thick when you apply it on. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit on my forehead, just because I don't really have too much of what I want to hide on. It's mainly in these areas right here, my cheeks. I'm gonna just apply the rest. Whatever's left, I'll just apply to the rest of my face. I'm gonna get my mirror here. Now it does look like my pores have been minimized just a bit, and the skin around here, this is not pores. What I have here, this is ice pick scarring. My pores, it's really right here towards my nose that I see it. And for me personally, it looks like they're a little bit like smoothened, but not too crazy. I have like a little mustache. I need to get waxed. Sorry. While I was talking about getting waxed, I quickly went ahead and just did my brows. I used the Huda Beauty, what is this? The Huda Beauty Bomb Brows, the micro shade brow pencil in rich brown. Quickly just did that very lightly. I filled it in there, nothing crazy, but this is what the skin is looking like with primer. I'm gonna go ahead and apply foundation. Yeah. Alright you guys, so primer is on. I went ahead and put my concealer underneath. Before I actually go in with my foundation, I do apply my cream contour bronzer, and the one that I've been currently loving is the one by Patrick Ta. It is the Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo in the shade She Sculpted. This is all I've been using now. It's so good, so natural, and just the shades are really nice. I don't know if you can tell, it's been loved, and I use it with the brush that you can buy separately. Again, if you already have products you like, stick to that. Go out of your way and, you know, buy something when you don't need it. But if you're interested in trying a new cream contour bronzer product, this is really pretty, and I like the undertone, the tones of the cream contour shade. I want a lifted look. I don't want to drag it down. And I like there's a little lid in there so it doesn't get mixed with the powder. Going with a lot because I don't want too much. Especially this is more just like an everyday look. I just want a wash of product. And I'm gonna go over this with foundation. So even if it is a little harsh, your foundation will diffuse it. And you can really work with that. I'm now going to go in with foundation. So I tend to go with two different foundations. It's between the Rare Beauty the foundation, or it's the Huda Beauty Full Filter Stick Foundation. These two are my favorite, but because, you know, we are using a Rare Beauty primer, I thought why not go in with my Rare Beauty foundation. And I just apply that much. I know that probably is a lot for some people, but for me it's like kind of like I don't really think it. I just apply. You can even just apply dots and you'll be good. This foundation definitely blends out pretty far. You don't need too much. I actually put way more than I normally do, and that's just because I get excited with the actual doe fit applicator. Coverage is great. I know they have this little dark spot, which for that I'll show you what I kind of do when I want to cover that up a little bit more. So I look a little dewy, extra dewy right now. And don't worry, powder definitely helps with that. I take the same foundation and I just dot it there, and then taking the Rare Beauty concealer brush, oh my god, things are falling, I kind of dab it right in that area, kind of, get what I mean? And then to make it look not too crazy, I spread it everywhere else, and there you go. That is the beauty of concealing, like spot concealing. But I'm gonna go ahead and complete the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back so we can do our first check-in with the primer. All right guys, so I went ahead and completed the rest of my makeup, and this is what my face is looking like currently. My foundation looks nice. You know, I will say my pores do look a little diffused here. I'm pretty satin finish, and that's just because the products I used were definitely more like a luminous, dewy finish. But I still kind of know where I get shiny throughout the day, and I did apply it there, so we will see in the next check-in, in our last check-in, before I kind of give my conclusion on this primer. But so far, so good. My overall makeup still looks really nice. I don't really see it making a difference to just like my overall makeup. It still looks very pretty. And yeah, so I have no complaints so far. We will see how the pore diffusing primer from Rare Beauty does, but so far it's so good. And it's actually already been almost 2 hours now with this on, just because I'm filming another video at the same time while I'm doing this. So it's been 2 hours since I've had the primer on, so I'm hopeful, but we will see in the next and my last, and honestly it'll be the last check-in. And yeah, so Rare Beauty, we will see about this Pore Diffusing Hydrating Primer. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next check-in. Alright guys, so it's been almost, I would say, five and a half hours since I've applied my makeup. I will say one thing, and this is not really to do with the primer. This has to do with the powder I use. It's the Jaclyn Cosmetics, the Luminous Powder in the shade Dew. And I applied it under my eyes right here. So it definitely seems like I'm sweaty and shiny there, but it's really just because it's that luminous powder. But I only applied it here and like right here. So if this is looking a little shiny, it's not really sweat or shine. It is that luminous powder. But where I applied the primer, the pores, I mean, it does look a little shiny, more than usual, I will say. But again, it's been almost 6 hours with this primer on, but overall my face makeup looks really nice. I will say the shine did peek through quite a bit, but remember I am combination to oily skin. My also, little spots peeking through. But again, my primer, I mainly put it right here on the cheeks, the forehead, the chin. The chin doesn't look too bad either. I mean, my makeup still looks really nice. I do look a little bit more dewy than I normally do, but that has a lot to do with the powder I used. But so far, it doesn't look bad. I think my makeup still looks very pretty. Definitely a little touch up or just like a little, what do they call it? The oil blotting will do the trick and it should look fine. Otherwise, I think the actual appearance of my makeup looks good for someone that does have a lot of texture, acne scarring. I think my makeup still looks really nice. I kind of sat in front of the sliding door here to kind of get that natural lighting for you guys. I have these pesky little dark spots going on. But other than that, I think my makeup is looking really pretty still. And the only thing is I did get a little shiny that I normally do with my other primers I've used. So, but overall with the smoothing and the diffusing, I think the smoothing effect is definitely still there and is very prominent and very pretty. But there has been some shine peeking through pretty early on compared to like if I were to use my Tatcha liquid silk canvas. I definitely have some extra shine going on, but that can also have to do with the powder that I used. But I will check in with you guys one last time and I'll kind of wrap up my thoughts about this Rare Beauty Pore Diffusing Primer. But yeah, so I will see you guys in a bit. All right, you guys, so it's definitely been almost 8 hours with my primer and foundation, just my makeup on right now. I will say I'm quite shinier than I usually am. I will say that's kind of my fault with that, and the only reason being is because I have a different video that I was filming while doing this one, and it was with the Jaclyn Cosmetics brand, and I used her Luminous Powder. So I definitely do seem a lot dewier under my eyes and on the forehead, and that has a lot to do with this powder just because it is supposed to give you more luminous effect. But aside from those areas, I still am pretty shiny here and on the nose and on the chin, and that's not really where I applied most of the powder. So that definitely has to do with it just peeking through on its own. So I will say this primer, for the first time trying it out, I don't think it does a really good job at keeping you matte throughout the day. But when it comes to the pore diffusing, I will say it did diffuse my pores a lot in these areas right here. I did notice a difference even on the chin right here. I noticed my pores to be a lot not as apparent as they usually are. In conclusion, what I really think about the Pore Diffusing Primer, definitely get the trial side to see if you like it. If you're looking for a primer specifically for your pores or just that smoothing texture on the skin, this is the go for you. I wouldn't say that this is really great to help fight shine throughout the day though. I think it's a great hydrating and pore diffusing primer, but it's not going to help you with your shine. But I would mix this with other primers. So I have my primers back here, and one of my favorite primers, and I know it's a little bit more high-end, but it has to be the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. I think this primer does it all for me. It has the texture, the smoothing, while keeping my shine at bay for so long throughout the day to where I don't even need to blot throughout the day. So this primer is really good. Another really great primer that I've been using quite a bit, and everything is right back here, so sorry I'm like turning around, but this primer right here by One Size, the Secure the Blur primer, this one has also become a favorite of mine over the past couple weeks, and it's a lot more inexpensive than the Tatcha one. The only thing I hate about it is the packaging. I think it's just it's going to be so difficult when I get close to the end to squeeze out the product, but this one is really great at just giving that blurring effect while keeping me matte throughout the day, but not like sucking the life out of my skin like some primers do. I really, really love this one for both of those. But it's not like so significant where I fall in love with this primer. It's just more like it's okay kind of primer for me. It's not revolutionary. So for me, it's I'm gonna keep trying it out. But I recommend getting the trial size if you're not sure how it's going to work with your skin. I think it's a better bet, and you save the bucks just in case you decide not to keep it or like keep using it. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I do post new videos here every week. Also follow me on Instagram at Thehennaali. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.